Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming, I'm Nathan. Time to take this Game Pass games with your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, a 2.5D RPG in the vein of Odin Sphere. Is this prequel to a game that's coming out next year worth hacking and slashing into? Eiyuden Chronicles Rising is an Xbox and PC cross-release on Game Pass. You can also buy it on PS4 and Switch. It does feature cross-save on the Game Pass version and is Series S and X upgrade for a better frame rate, and the game will last you around 10 to 15 hours depending on how many of its many side quests you decide to do. So what exactly is Eiyuden Chronicles Rising? Well, it's a light 2D action RPG that serves as a prequel to Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, a kickstarted spiritual successor to the Suikoden series coming out in 2023. In this bite-sized story, you follow CJ, a scavenger turned adventurer who is out to find her fame and fortune and prove herself to her tribe. She quickly, however, gets wrapped up in helping a town that's just outside a set of ruins that are rumored to contain an ultimate treasure. And as such, most of the game is doing errands and quests to enhance the village to provide the shops, materials, and weapons that CJ and her companions need to succeed. The game is played as a 2D action brawler split into different zones. Within these zones, you'll adventure killing monsters and farming resources to complete a variety of quests. Expect to run zones multiple times to get the resources you need, as well as have these zones gradually expand over the course of the game as you acquire new tools, Metroidvania style, to unlock new areas. Combat is incredibly simple, with CJ assigned to a basic X attack and pressing Y switching to whomever her current companion is to attack. You can chain these attacks together with good timing. Additionally, both CJ and each companion have an ability that's activated with the right trigger, be that a parry or a dodge or whatnot. And that's honestly most of it. Aside from combat, you'll be building up the town by doing a wide variety of quests, almost all of which are fetch quests. Be it fishing, setting traps, or just running through the woods, re-killing bosses for their resources, nearly every quest is as simple as going somewhere and getting something for someone. Thankfully, the game has a very comprehensive fast travel system, both in and out of dungeon zones, which helps decrease the pain of backtracking. As you upgrade the town, you'll also be able to upgrade your gear in a fairly standard upgrade system, including cooking meals that give permanent bonuses to characters, very similar to Odin Sphere. So all in all, Eiyuden Chronicle Rising is an extremely basic 2D action RPG, with just about every facet of its design being as bog standard and old school as you can get. So what do I like about Eiyuden Chronicle Rising? Well, the game looks really good. I'm a big sucker for 2D sprites on a 3D background look, that 2.5D style as people call it, and this game certainly ramps up its visual flair when it comes to its backgrounds. Additionally, the general loop of completing quests to improve your character, to go to the next thing, to complete quests, to improve your character, yada yada yada, is tried and true as being addicting, even if it's about as fulfilling as a bag of potato chips. And lastly, I feel this will actually be a great RPG to introduce to kids or people who don't play a lot of games, as it's overall fairly light, but still offers enough of a challenge, particularly with its bosses, to keep people engaged. When it comes to the bad, as mentioned, the combat is so basic it borders on tedious at times. Additionally, the quests are unbelievably bland, with the entirety of the game being, again, elongated fetch quests, and the 100 or so you do over the course of the game getting very repetitive very quickly. Luckily, you don't have to do all of them to complete the game. And lastly, the story honestly didn't really draw me in. As you can guess from the quests, it felt mostly like doing chores. I did actually really like the characters, CJ in particular. I thought she was a great protagonist, but even I was getting weary of her eagerness to do everybody's errands for them by the end of the game. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, and don't bother. Eiyuden Chronicle Rising is definitely a maybe consider. For a budget game, it's only $15. It's a fairly light 2D action RPG that checks all of the boxes and is unapologetically old school if you are into that type of thing. This really feels like a PS1 game, and that's not necessarily bad. If something super basic and old school sounds like your thing, absolutely check it out, but if not, there's plenty of action RPGs out there that try harder than Eiyuden Chronicles Rising. And that is all I have for you today. What do you think about this game? Please let me know in the comments, and then go out there and enjoy Eiyuden Chronicle Rising.